In today's video, we will take a look inflation rate, consumer and producer inflation, Fed meeting, and this is data related to the March of 2024. My name is Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group, MVP Realty. Let's start. All right, let's take a look first, inflation rate. So we always compare inflation on inflation and core inflation. Core inflation is inflation where excluded volatile items such as food and energy. So for the past since January, February, and March, the inflation is actually on a rise compared to the end of the last year. And as if you're watching the channel, you already know that we talked so many times of the rate prediction that the federal government expectation rates to be cut in 2024. So as of yesterday, we had a Fed, Mr. Powell had a speech, and he basically went over the economy, where we at, and many other things. And one thing many of us was thinking, well, if the rate is, inflation start accelerating, is there will be rate hikes. And so he came in yesterday and he said, no rate hikes. The rate cuts is still expectation, but not as not maybe as many as we all kind of expected for the 2024. He also addressed question about stagflation. He said that he'd been in stagflation, and the unemployment it was like 10%, and the inflation in a high single-digit rates, and this is definitely not a stagflation. I don't know, my opinion, if you're watching this channel, I do believe we're in stagflation. When you look in different things, I know just take a look how the consumer, I don't know. For me personally, I'm thinking this way, the personal expenditure is rose like a last month 0.8. So the expenses continue to go up. The personal income rose by 0.5. Yeah, it's going in up, but our expenses going in up faster than actually our income. GDP, they say, well, we're still in positive GDP. Yeah, GDP come in for the first quarter at 1.6%, compared to the fourth quarter was like 3.6. 3.4 actually, 3.4%. So you definitely can see the economy slowing down, but inflation started accelerating for the, months over months. And you can see, this is the first chart that I'd like to share with you. You can see that inflation rate accelerated for the second straight months to 3.5%, and the highest that it's been since September, compared to 3.2% in February. And forecast was actually 3.4%. For the core inflation is basically been for a while in a high threes, and you can see the rating slightly above the forecast at 3.7. So it's 3.8%, the core inflation. And just so you guys know, the target is 2%. I don't know how they can get there, but we'll see. So if you like to pause, take a look. This is just the items breakdown. One of the lagging indicator, how Mr. Powell said that, shelter eventually will come down. So we'll see how that can happen. But you can see it's still steady at 0.4% on a rise for the March. For the February was 0.6% on a rise for the January. So we'll see what happened there. But please pause, take a look. I always provide this data. Then let's take a look the producer price index. Producer price, it's what it's inflation related to producer. So eventually, if the producer will be more costly to produce, that will be spill over to the consumer inflation. And I believe the Coca-Cola, they had the earnings release just a few days or yesterday, and they said they indicated that the prices on the rise. They're raising the prices by 13%. So I don't know how you, and let me know, please, in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion. Like, I felt like it would be for the past year in stagflation. That's to me, personally, I felt, and I don't know. So, but let me know, please, in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion. So the producer price index also rose, increased to 2.1%. And this is for the March. We will have next readings, obviously, in May for the April. And of course, you will have all the data at the end of the month. For the core producer, also increased to 2.4%. And yeah, and this is on the rise because the expectation was 2.3%. The PCE inflation, this is the personal consumption expenditure price index. That's where we're looking right now. This is actually a preferred gauge of the for the Fed to track the inflation. And just so you know, like if you say, well, Anna, well, this is just rose 2.8. 2.8 doesn't sound that bad, right? No, it doesn't sound that bad. But if you compare quarter after quarter, actually I was looking today, and the PCE in the fourth quarter was 1.8%. That was the fourth quarter of 2023 ended, which was wonderful, right? But then in the first quarter, it's actually rose to 3.4. I mean, guys, this is, to me, I don't know what the future can hold, but if you're looking for the past 3 months, the inflation is definitely on the rise. That's why I said, for me, I feel like we're in stagflation. But let's take a look at the non-farm payroll. Actually, the new data come in tomorrow, but I'll be reporting the next month. So in March, we did add 303,000 jobs, 303,000 jobs, and unemployment actually stayed at 3.8, went down a little bit from the last month. And this is the breakdown comparison for the February. You can see the government payrolls was a little bit higher compared to February. Manufacturer was flat. Non-manufacturer private, it was higher at 233,000. So initial jobless claims fell by 5,000, and this is for the week in April the 20th. That is reporting weekly, so I always bring the latest data that I have. And continuous jobless claims, it's actually decreased to 1781, and it's in thousands. And this is April 20th, ending for 2024. All right, let's take a look. The existing home sales year over year, and you can see that they've been declined in the month of March 4.3%, and also obviously declined month over month. So the new home sales, in new home sales is actually a decline eased by 0.3% from previous months, seasonal adjusted. This is for a new home sales. The building permits fell by 3.7% seasonal adjusted annual rate, also in the month of March 2024. The home starts year over year is actually plunged by 14.7% month over month. And the 30-year mortgage, that was a big subject for, for a while on this channel, and I'm sure between many of you guys, the 30-year mortgage rates actually on conforming loan balances, 766,550 or less, it's climbed by 5 basis points to 7.29%. This is for the week of April 26, 2024. So that's the latest one. It's it's really interesting to see, like, because for me personally, like, I'm thinking, when they do start cutting the rates, like how that will be affecting inflation, because the cutting mortgage rates, I mean, first thing is will flow more many consumers who simply cannot just afford our mortgage. Our home affordability right now is the lowest that has been since 1990, and that's, again, I covered that in a video that will be attaching at the end of this video. So it's interesting timing to see how everything will progress. And, when the Fed will cut the rates. So the next meeting, obviously June, I don't think anybody can believe the Fed will start cutting cutting rates in June. The next interest rate meeting will be July, I believe, 31st. We'll see if that will be July or that will be September. And I hope they will not start cutting the rates for the wrong reason, because I hope our economy continue go at least where it's at right now. And but at some point when they do start cutting rates, and from the goodness of the heart, I don't know how the inflation will rebalance, because to me that's inflationary. Like, if you're thinking about that they try to bring all these prices down and then they started cutting rates. I mean, what happened to everything, stock market, to home sales? We'll see. Time will tell. I hope you and your family enjoyed this video, and I hope you find this information valuable. If you do, please subscribe to the channel. If you're looking to move or to sell in Southwest Florida, my name Anna Eckstein, Naples Ultimate Luxury Group, MVP Realty. I would love to sit down with you in detail and create a detailed plan for you and for your family to make sure it's achieving your real estate goals in Southwest Florida. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.